Welcome back to the Daily Roundup. This week, the third inaugurated Junior National Council is meeting in Windhoek, Namibia, to tackle some of the most pressing issues related to education and its role in achieving the ambitious goals of Agenda 2063. Today, we are diving into the crucial topic, educating a Namibian child fit for Agenda 2063 and beyond. I'm joined by Aina Andreas and Sam Etuhole Malenga, both esteemed members of the GNC, to share their thoughts on how education can be transformed to meet the challenges of the future and empower the next generation. Welcome, guys. Are you all nervous?
Yeah.
I'm sure you had a hectic day today.
Yeah, it was tough.
Yeah, welcome. So just to start off, let's start with the gentleman. Just start off by you explaining to us what Agenda 2063 means and how you see it aligning with your own educational experience so far.
Okay, so thank you so much. Agenda 2063 was basically an agenda that was brought up by the African Union, of which was 2013, to be able to align Africa with to reach global standards. So we can say that this is an agenda that is inquiring that Africa reaches a global standard that is, I think, 33 years from now, and since it started in 2013, 2063, they are 39 years from now. So this goal aims to leveraging Africa with all other global standards. And I believe you asked the question of saying that, how does it connect or rely with our education? So there are certain aspects that this agenda looks into, and in those aspects, there's one that says education and innovation. So what they try and leverage within this, they try and assure that once we reach that global standard, our education is free, and our education is quality education, because that's what we even GNC advocate for. We advocate for free and quality education.
Indeed. Thank you so much. And just to get to, in terms of what some of the key challenges you have personally encountered in the current education system, and also just talk to us about and what changes would you like to see to address them? Yes, with you, Alina.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the...
Did you get the question?
No, but I'm going to repeat it, please.
Okay, no problem. If you can just briefly go through the key challenges you have personally encountered in the current education system, and also just what changes would you like to see to address them?
Okay, thank you so much for the opportunity to be here. The challenges that I feel like the youth is facing currently when it comes to the educational sector, if it's not the challenge of the number of textbooks in schools, it's either the learning methods, you know. Different learners learn in different ways. There's some learners are more hands-on, you know, and I feel like currently in our regions we're lacking the how can I say it, the type of subjects offered at certain schools. So I feel like if we could bring our nation more into the agricultural sector, that would really gravely improve on the educational sector.
Yes, and coming back to you, on inclusive education, when we talk about inclusive education, it's one of the major themes this year, right? And how vital do you think is it for all students, and also just regardless of their background or ability, to have access to higher education, and how can we make this a reality?
Okay. So I really love the fact that you spoke the word inclusivity in them. Inclusivity is something that is very vital within our life. So once we are talking about inclusivity when it comes to education, it means that every learner, irregardless of their background, must have free and quality education. So currently, we are not obliged to look at the background for a learner to have education. A learner, it's even a right. It's a right for a learner to be educated. So we believe as the GNC that each and every learner, or let me even say students, each and every learner should get free and quality education, irregardless of their background, irregardless of their sex, or maybe of their race. These are certain things that we should cut out once we come to inclusivity. These are certain things that we have to limit out of our thinking, because these are certain things that limit our thinking once it comes to that. That's why if we want to perceive, if we really want to grow, we have to really limit such such sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Just this question is directed to both of you. So when he's done answering, then you can just also come in. And one of the topics being discussed is the role of technology because we are talking about AI as well. And also just the role of technology in education. And how do you think digital technologies are shaping your learning experience? And what challenges do you see as well?
Okay.
Yeah, we can start with you again.
So, AI, artificial intelligence.
Yes, of course.
Something that is very, very common now. It's even becoming common within our country. So, AI basically is just a helping system when it comes to education. Currently, AI is providing much more information once it comes to the learning society. Let me give you an example of AI. Right now, they're implementing textbooks, they're implementing iPads or laptops. Let's say these are robotics. So AI is forever available. We have teachers that maybe go on sick leave. We have teachers that go on maternity leaves. And this puts the learners behind. But once there's AI, AI is forever there. This is just a helping hand once it comes to education.
Yeah. And your thoughts on that as well?
My thoughts on that is just that if AI was to be incorporated in our schools, like if I had to make a practical example of, I think in some private schools in the country, AI is already a subject. But if you look at the public schools, it's not being incorporated in the schools. It's not being dealt with. That brings us back to the inclusivity problem. Because if you look at the private schools and the public schools, the AI is already a subject in the private schools, but it's not a subject in most public schools in our region. So if we bring AI, if we incorporate it in our schools today, it will make the whole learning aspect so much easier. Because even if like my colleague said, even if a teacher is absent or on sick leave, it doesn't bring us as learners behind on our on our schoolwork. It doesn't set us behind on track. Like, for example, we all write national exams at the end of almost every other grade 11s. So if some schools, most of the teachers were absent on sick leave, the other schools are already progressing with the work, which brings the other learners behind. But if AI was to be incorporated in schools, everyone would be on track and everyone would be on the same pace when it comes to writing the exams, and everything would be so much easier and smoother.
Yeah, sticking with you, Alina, just another key point of discussion at the council meeting is also just creating a curriculum that prepares students for emerging industries. In your opinion, what subjects or skills should be prioritized to better equip learners for the future? What are your thoughts on that?
When it comes to that, sorry, will you please repeat the question for me?
Just the last part. In your opinion, what subjects or skills should be prioritized to better equip learners for the future?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. In my opinion, I would say that currently, the technical subjects, the subjects of design, the subjects of technical drawings, those type of subjects, as well as the science subjects also. Because when it comes to the developments being made in the country as of green hydrogen and the oil and gas industry, I feel like the companies are here, but the learners aren't being taught how to go into the sector or how they are going to dive into it, or they aren't being practically taught on how to go about it. So when it comes to that, I feel like the subjects to go for is the science field or the technical field.
Sam, I see you are making notes. You want to add on it as well?
Would you just kindly please repeat the question for me?
Yeah, sure, no problem. We're just talking about when we look at, in your opinion, what subjects or skills should be prioritized to better equip learners for the future?
Okay, so currently what I believe is that once it comes to certain factors, like when it comes to science, this is a field that is creating so many jobs currently. The jobs are in demand, and as my colleague said, there are certain subjects that have to be implemented within the education. Because, mind you, I am just a grade 11 learner, and imagine I just start learning robotics, which is AI, within grade 11. Then do you think that I'll really be able to step up and catch up? So what we advocate for is we try that they may try and implement these subjects as from the lower grades to be able to nurture the learners and up to the very final end, so that these learners can be the ones to be able to take our country further. Because for you to progress, you need skills. Without skills, you cannot go anywhere. So with the basic skills that are required. We have a lot of things emerging, as my colleague said. We have green hydrogen, we have the oil and gas, but these are factors, these are natural resources found within our country, but because of the lack of knowledge and the lack of skills to deal with certain things, we as the Namibians cannot even touch anything. We have to recruit people from outside to come and mine our own natural resources. So better is it that we try and improve once it comes to the curriculum, we improve or we insert subjects as to such as AI, robotics, engineering maybe as from the lowest down. And she spoke even about drawing. Arts also is today playing a big role in and even agriculture. We should also touch on the agriculture sector because agriculture, not everybody really is looking up onto it, but agriculture is a self-money-making an easy way to get money.
True. I'm so happy to see you guys excited about this. I understand now why you are part of the whole GNC. And maybe just as we try to round up as well, when we talk about aligning your education, I'm starting with you, Alina. When we talk about aligning our education system with the goals of Agenda 2063, what specific policy changes do you think are necessary?
Thank you for the question once again. When we talk about aligning our educational sector to the Agenda 2063, not personally, but I would just say that when it comes to our educational sector, there's so much we can do that would better our nation. As the aim of the Agenda 2063 is aimed at developing our countries, and it's aimed at sustainable development. So if we were to look into our educational sector deeper or further dive into it, and we find the problems and we try to come up with the solutions needed for the problems. For example, the problem we already stated about the teachers being absent or sick, that really brings the learners behind, as already stated. So if we can improve our educational sector on regards on that topic and on regards of the curriculum, that would really bring us closer to our goal for the Agenda 2063.
And currently, do you think that the education system is preparing you guys for Agenda 2063?
Currently, I wouldn't say so. Let me say I would say so. Because when it comes, but if I look at the youth, isn't it? Majority of the youth currently don't even know what Agenda 2063 is. Because if we were to ask somebody, just a young person today, what is Agenda 2063? They wouldn't know, or they wouldn't be able to give you an answer towards it. So if I look at the educational sector, I feel like on our daily basis, when we go to school, it should be implemented we should be more informed on regards on this type of topics, so that we know what to do when we get out of the educational sector. So that not out of the educational sector, but when we finish schools and when we're done with it.
Of course. And lastly, just a question that you both can answer. What message would you like to send to your fellow students, educators, and policymakers about the importance of ensuring quality, inclusive education for a Namibian child? I'll start with you, sir.
Okay, thank you so much for the question, ma'am. I'm really sorry to take you back, though, about the previous question on what you asked my fellow colleague here. So something that we also advocate for is the GNC. We all know that there's no house without rules. And currently, this is a belief that comes from all other colleagues, is that the children or the learners now are knowing too much of their rights. And now the government is too much on the learner's sides. So I can give you a basic example. If you create an environment without rules, then I'm telling you there will be no order. So what we planned as the GNC is that there was a statement made by the government that there shall be no corporal punishment in school. Right? I do not oppose it. We do not oppose it. But what we advocated for is that they should improve, or they should implement a way that the teachers, even though they are not harming the learners, should find a way to keep the learners in check. Because learners currently, they do not even follow rules at school. The teachers are stressing. And mind you, once the learners fail, then the teachers are the ones to be blamed. But currently, we cannot just blame the teachers, because the teachers are trying their best. But due to certain policies that have been implemented by the government, they limit the teachers to be able to perform their work better. Yeah.
Speaking like a true Junior National Council member. Eh? Yes, and just on the last question as well, the message that you have, yes.
Okay, the message, inclusivity is something that is very vital. If we really want to grow our country, if we really want to reach for the Vision 2063 that we speak of, A vision cannot be done by one person. I like to say that 4 hands are better than 2. So what we can do is the teachers, the parents, the learners, we can correspond, we can work hand in hand to ensure that that we reach the global standard. Right now, we cannot just rely on the learners to be able to push themselves, or maybe the teachers, but we also have to include the parents to ensure that the learners are in a straight mode. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Sam. Thank you so much for making time, guys, and continue advocating for other young people. All right, that was just 2 young members of the Junior National Council. They just gave us a brief on the goals of Agenda 2063. We'll be right back after this break.